What is going on, everybody? Let's jump into talking about Jasmina and Michael. And the first thing I wanted to say is I thought this was going to be like a massive episode for these two. We knew on the preview that we were going to have that moment with Dr. Pepper where they ended up having to talk about intimacy. And I really thought that this was going to be kind of a make or break episode for Jasmina and Michael, and I don't feel any different at all whatsoever at the end of tonight's episode. I'm honestly a little disappointed. But anyways, let's jump into what actually went down this episode. So one of the first things we see is Jasmina and Michael in the car and bringing up about them having a kid in a year and a half. And I was just thinking to myself, how are you going to have a kid in a year and a half where you can't even hold hands? Like you're not even holding hands with each other. And like their whole relationship, I don't feel like it's the same as Miles and Karen from like two seasons ago. I think that was 2 seasons, maybe 3 seasons ago. It doesn't have the same feel. Like there are some comparables, but this feels like a unique situation. Like there is just feels like there's no, like Jasmina is not attracted to Michael and don't know what can happen in the next week to change that. As great as they are at being friends and together, to me, they're the best couple of the season, but that romance side, the intimacy side, it has to have at least progressed to somewhere at this point, and it just hasn't. It's so glaringly obvious that they aren't comfortable touching each other when Jasmina was reading her letter to her younger self. I did appreciate that they finally hugged at the end, but really felt like Jasmina was there pouring her heart out, and Michael was just successfully socially distancing himself from the situation. When if my wife was pouring her heart out to me over something, like you can be sure that I'm gonna reach out and at least touch her, hold her hand, give her a squeeze, let her know that I'm there, let her know that I care. But that is not the place that these two are at. Miss Pataski, we gotta find this lady. If she's still alive, we gotta get her on the show, because like Jasmina had her life changed by this woman, and like hearing her talk about this Miss Pataski, I want to see her. I want to see this lady. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I really hope it does. Like have her pop out for the reunion or something. Dr. Pepper hit an absolutely incredible segue to switch into talking about intimacy. The whole thing came up again about having a kid in a year and a half, and that whole little scenario I thought was hilarious. That Jasmina's like, oh yeah, year and a half, kids. But what she actually meant was year and a half start to try to have kids, whereas Michael was like, yeah, 2 to 3 years. So really, they're on the same timeline. They're on identical timelines. There's no difference there. Starting in a year and a half, yeah, that'll probably get you a kid in between that 2 to 3 year mark. So a little silly there. But anyways, back to Dr. Pepper's segue. We hit that topic of the year and a half having a kid, and I don't even remember the line from Dr. Pepper, but it was something like, oh, well, you know what you have to do if you want to have a kid. Hilarious. Even Michael was laughing there, and I don't blame him, because it was a pretty funny situation. But as we transitioned into that conversation, I really felt Michael for having to hear Jasmina say that she's not attracted to him. He's, in my opinion, has been putting in a lot of effort, wants the relationship to succeed, and Jasmina is just holding back that little bit, because for her, that spark, that attraction is just not there. And how can you believe at this point that anything can happen in this final week to turn this couple around? As much as I like them together, think they look like a great couple beside each other, you know, they get along great. They seem to be getting closer with each passing episode, but they are missing that love, missing that connection, and just to me, can't be something that is forced at this point, and can't be something that they can overcome in 1 week. So that's going to be it for Jasmina and Michael. Yeah, pretty short one tonight on them. Really thought this was going to be a transformative episode for them, and it just was not. So that's it for this week. Let me know what your thoughts are on this couple. And as always, everybody, thank you so much for watching. And until next time, we will see you later.